Welcome to the Crowned Medium with your host, Lorenda Carr.
Good morning, everybody. Hello, hello. Happy New Year. Getting all the things going. Hello, Serena. Welcome. Welcome in. My name's Lorenda. I'm a psychic medium. We're going to be chatting about all kinds of interesting things. Good morning, Roxanne. My holidays were good. Thanks. They were good. They were good. So we're getting everything rolling over here. Yeah, today we're going to talk about New Year's, but we have to do, the thing, the drill, especially over in the tickety talkities. You got to do all the things. Welcome in. I see Pam Sears is in the house. Hello, Miss Pam. We're getting started here. Good morning, Tracy. Good to see you. Hi, Anna. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Good morning, Amy. Happy New Year, everybody. So excited to be here and be back. Hi, Spicy Pisces. Good morning. Yeah, it's been an eventful couple weeks. So I've missed you all. I've missed going live and connecting with everybody. Oh, thank you very much. It's so sparkly, isn't it? Sits nicely on my head. Thought it was perfect to go with the rhinestones in my Hoosier sweatshirt. Any of you all follow any college football at all? I'm not a huge college football fan. I've been to literally 2 college football games in my entire life. My husband's a huge fan and also an IU grad. That's right. I'm a Hoosier mama. My husband is an IU grad. He's got his undergraduate and 2 graduate degrees from IU. And then my 2 daughters are IU grads as well. Good morning, April. So we actually, kind of a spontaneous trip. We ended up going to the Rose Bowl last week. And what a crazy experience that was. And then, because that was on New Year's Day. And as we get more people in here, as the room fills up, we do the thing. Make sure you guys are sharing the live, all that stuff. Yeah, I got this maybe a couple months ago, Amy, and I just haven't worn it. It usually just sits up there as a background. So I thought, but again, it was perfect to go with the vibe of my sweatshirt. Listen, you got to have the matching. You can't have your crown not match an outfit, right? You should see me in a crown. Absolutely, Michelle. So welcome everybody. Again, let's share the live on TikTok. The first 5 minutes is critical. If the person going live is not getting the shares and the taps and even the gifts, I'm not asking for that, by the way. Good morning, Lee. Happy New Year. If we're not getting all the engagement, then TikTok says, they're not worth our time, and we don't get pushed out into the algorithm. So any assistance you can give me over on the TikTok, that would be great. If you're not following, make sure you do. I'm pretty fun. Usually we have guests on. Today we don't have any special guests. I just wanted to talk about kind of what we talked about in class this week. And actually what prompted it was in my class with Reverend Glenda on Saturdays. We talked about intentions versus resolutions and all that. It was a really good discussion on setting intentions. And then we did the same thing in my class last night with a twist, with a very interesting twist. So I thought we'd talk about that today. Oh, thank you for being part of my team. I appreciate it. And good morning, Kara. I was just thinking about you last night, actually. Yeah, I was thinking about you last night. Kind of wondering where you were because we had class last night. So yeah, totally lost my train of thought, got sidetracked. So anyway, if you are, yes, I am. I'm bringing the sparkle vibe today. And it's kind of a tall crown. I'm kind of liking it. I could be in this vibration. So my husband and I have actually been watching the TV show, the Netflix show, Victoria. I didn't even know it was a thing. And now we're in season 3. or there is a season 3. So I was like, oh, I didn't know this was a thing. How did I not know anything? This is about Queen Victoria and her story. She's got the best dresses and the best crowns. Now, listen, I have to say, other than the misogyny and all the horrible things and that happened way back then, the clothes are fantastic. The decorations in the houses are fantastic. The crowns, everyone, it was just normal for people to wear a crown or tiara, which I feel like we should normalize again. I'm just saying. We should not normalize corsets and floor-length gowns every single day. However, I do believe we should bring back and normalize crowns. Just walk around with a tiara all the time. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What do you guys think? I think it'd be great. Just waiting for responses. All right. Yes. Make sure you guys are doing the thing over here in the TikTok. Good morning. I see Lucas is joining over on the Instagram, in the gram of the Instas, whatever you want to call them, whatever we have to code word. I was just passing by. You said Queen Victoria I love it. Hello, Vic. Welcome in. Yeah. So, and that's actually, it's a really good show. So we've been kind of hooked on that. We kind of discovered it accidentally. Well, welcome in, Alexandria. Welcome. My name's Lorinda. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a Hoosier. So just so y'all know, I'm going to be heading. So we went to the Rose Bowl. Again, I'd been to one college football game in my entire life. I'm 54 years old. I went to Ball State. We're not a football team. I was a dance major. My husband is obsessed with all things sports. He just loves sports. And good morning, Liz. And so, but with IU now being like this amazing winning team, their coach, if you look up their coach, Coach Signetti, they're like, Coach, how's it feel to be da-da-da-da? What do you do? He's like, Google me, I win. I'm like, I could get behind that vibe. Especially when you've made yourself a career for your whole life. You've done something and you've got a good, strong track record. It's no accident when you're given the proper platform, you're given the proper place, you're given the proper support, and where you're able to really thrive and shine. And then you get people who acknowledge what you're doing. Yeah. So I like his philosophy. Google me, I win. Like, if you look at his track record, he is really awesome. Again, I've never, ever been into college football. But my husband, my daughters all have degrees from IU. So guess what? We're heading to Atlanta. We're driving to Cincinnati. Like, we can't do anything easy. It can never do anything easy. Initially, he was like, hey, let's drive to Atlanta. I'm like, that sounds horrible. I don't want to be in the car with you for 8.5 hours. Like, love you, but no, I got things to do. Asking for a guide. I'm doing very well. Thank you, Michelle. And I love it. I love that a guide is asking you. Hang around. We might talk more about that. I'm interested to hear where that's going. So he was thinking, oh yeah, we'll just drive to Atlanta. And I was like, you know what? Actually, no, I can watch it on TV. I'm good with the couch. Matter of fact, I don't even really actually have to watch the game. I don't need to do that. Hi, Astro Queen. Good morning. And so we're actually going to drive to Cincinnati because it was cheaper. And you know what's crazy? This is what we did. Good morning, Fabulous 50s. I'm also in my Fabulous 50s. You should just wear a crown. People will be like, oh my God, you're amazing. You must be important. You'll be like, yes, I'm in my 50s. Duh. It works. So we've actually booked flights from Cincinnati to Orlando because it was $250 cheaper to do that and just fly through Atlanta and go to Orlando. But we're not actually going to Orlando. We're just going to get off the plane in Atlanta because it was so ultimately $500 cheaper to just miss a flight to Orlando. So that's what we're doing. We're going to drive the 2 hours to Cincinnati, fly to Atlanta. We have the game tomorrow night. I know. Yes, I am. Thank you, Astro Queen. I am. Well, TikTok has amazing filters. They make me look young and amazing. In real life, I'm a little haggard. Little haggard, I think. Um, I know, Amy, that is crazy. So that's what we're gonna do. And on the way back, it was fine. They were the same price to come from Atlanta to Cincinnati. And then we're just gonna drive home from there. Oh, thank you, Astro Queen. Appreciate that. Yeah, so we're just gonna not catch the flight to Orlando and go to the game. It's a late game too, 7:30, which isn't that late really, except then when you're trying to get out of the game and get back. When we were in Pasadena for the Rose Bowl, it was actually faster. Thanks, Collins girl. It was actually faster to walk back to Pasadena from the Rose Bowl than it was to stand in line for the shuttles. Yeah. Okay, Lucas. Happy New Year. Well, we're just doing carry-on. We're literally going to be overnight. So we're just going to take literally one carry-on bag. Like I'm just taking a duffel bag. That's it. My makeup's already going to be done. Hair's going to be on point, whatever. And then because we're just going to get on a plane Saturday morning or Saturday early afternoon and head back. So really we're not even checking bags. So yeah, it's going to work out just fine. Because we're going to be gone for 24 hours. Isn't that crazy? This is what I need. I need friends in high places that have private planes. So I can just be like, yeah, can we just use your plane? Do you mind? Someday I'll get there. I'll have those cool friends. I don't yet. I know. Yeah. So like literally we're saving $500 by booking the flight to Orlando from Cincinnati. And that's just crazy. So our daughter's going. She's also an IU grad. You're right. You're right. I need my own plane. I don't need friends with planes. I need my own plane. It's kind of like though, when you have your own boat, nobody really wants their own boat because it's a lot of money for upkeep and all the things. But if you can just borrow a boat or use your friend's boat or go on a boat, even if you're like offering to pay for your time on the boat. So I don't know. I guess maybe that's really what I want is like my own plane. That's what I need. I need to have so much money that I can just be like, oh my God, I just need a plane. Can somebody just get me a plane? I would look good walking up with my crown, walking up the steps onto my private plane with my champagne. I think it's a vibe. My own plane with a maintenance crew. I know. Maintenance crew and my service staff. That's what I need. We're going to work on manifesting. Now we're going to talk about that. What are y'all drinking, by the way? I know I can visualize it too. I can totally see it. Hello, two pink fins. How are you? Oh, wait, that's Dana, isn't it? I recognize that. Your picture's like teeny tiny. Good morning, Dana. How is Spain? Are you loving living there? I know so many people who've like moved out of the country. Oh yeah, pilot, because I can't really fly it. I mean, we could try. I drive a lot of things. I can drive a truck. I can drive a boat. I can drive a motor. I ride a motorcycle. I don't know if I could pull off airplane though. It might take a little. That might be out of my wheelhouse. But I'd make a great passenger. I'm just saying. Just saying. What are y'all drinking? I'm drinking my Celsius as usual. So we are talking about the energy of New Year's, stepping into the energy of New Year's, and setting intentions, being mindful. I know, right, Michelle? Being mindful of where we put our energy and what we want, the life we want to create for ourselves. January 18th is the first new moon of the year. Yes. So that's a really good point. So on January 18th, then you want to start thinking about what you're going to be bringing into your awareness, right? Hi, Albus. Good morning. Oh, I love that. Thanks. Um, and bringing what you want into your awareness and living in a vibration that and aligns with where you want to go, right? Oh, cool. Amy's drinking water over there. You haven't decided what you're bringing in, but I know what I'm leaving behind. And that's where we are right now. It's kind of like, what are you stepping away from? What are you letting go? Because we just finished a number 9 year, right? And oh yeah, I got an interesting story to tell you all. That was very number aligned. And what are we releasing from that number 9 year, 2025 being a number 9 year? So what are we moving away from? Yes, it's a Mars year on top of that. And the Capricorn energy. Yeah, there's a lot happening energetically right now as we transition from that number 9 year we just finished up a 9-year cycle. And I would challenge you, think about it. For the last 9 years, look at your own life cycle and think about what has been going on. What has your life been looking like? What energy, what lessons have you learned? How many friendships in the last few months have fallen away? Or a lot, maybe people that you thought were in your corner are starting to reveal themselves. And you're like, oh, like I've had that happen with a few of my colleagues even. And completely caught off guard. Like somebody took my rose-colored glasses off and I was like, oh, you're like that? You think that? And it's been disappointing. But then there's also people coming into my awareness that I'm like, why are we not best friends? Well, okay, Carrie's my best friend, but why are we not friends? Why are we not hanging out? Why are we not spending time together? Why, think about it. Okay, so we have some comments over here. I don't want to miss anything. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so the astrology is wild and the numerology is so matched with it this year. Yes, it really, really is, Astro Queen. Michelle says, I'm completely stepping into new energy after 2 major complex neck surgeries and 4 months. Yeah, you've had a rough go of it, Michelle. Yes, you have. I haven't seen you in a minute. And yes, clarity's hitting big. Yeah, think about it. And then Amy says, today is my 25-year anniversary at your current job. That, first of all, that's amazing that anybody stays at any job for more than 5 years anymore. But this last year has made me feel like this is something that needed to be reconsidered. See, I'm telling you, we're in these wild cycles of clarity. Yes, it's exactly it. It's been a year of clarity so far, but the moon needs to get out of Virgo, dude. Right. They're saying congratulations, Amy, over here, that of your 25-year anniversary. But I understand, like now you're just in a new phase. And in class last night, as a sidebar, once we were done with the class part, we were actually all chat GPTing our Chiron mother wound and all that. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Looking at like what it's telling me for me based on my birth date and all that, like where I am in my journey. I'm like, okay, this is wild how accurate it was. So if you guys get a chance, go onto that free version of ChatGPT and ask about your Chiro, Chiro, Chiro mother wound, type in your birthday and time of birth if you have it, if you know it, and your location, and it'll give you all this interesting things. Yeah. I don't know much about it. Like we literally just talked about it last night. Good morning, Justice. Oh my gosh, long time no see. Hello. And it was wild to see like your cycle of healing and where energetically you specifically are. But here we are, if we're looking at the collective, how does that fit into the collective? We're talking about the number one year right now that we just transitioned into. And then I also saw a video from that. I'm pretty sure it may have been Tammy, my friend Tammy, Nevermore Aries. I think, or she reposted or liked it or something. It said something like, the witches know that we're not setting intent. We're not manifesting right now because it's winter. Like, we're gonna wait till spring to manifest this stuff for the year. The spiritualists, however, are saying with the winter solstice and the veil being very thin, the light being very bright, the light of the Christos, like it's a whole different vibration. So it all depends on, I honestly, I believe it has to do with whatever is necessary for you and where your belief system is and where you energetically vibrate. I think you can thrive at any point in the year, no matter what the astrology says, if that's what you really want to do. You can thrive wherever you choose to thrive. 71 days till spring break. Ooh, yay. I have no plans. Okay, I kind of do have plans for spring break, but it's to go see Carrie. Hopefully we can get a retreat planned or like a little show planned for that time in April. Your new year started in Samhain. I love that. I love that. So, I mean, it really does. And some people go birthday to birthday. I kind of believe that our true new year starts with our birthday, which means I got till August to keep clearing out my stuff. But what I've noticed, which is interesting, wait till I tell you what happened to me. It's very interesting how all this numerology, my own birth chart, my own Chiron, my own in alignment with the collective 2026 vibration. So on New Year's Day, we're at the Rose Bowl. I just set foot. I got off the bus. I just set foot on the soil of the Rose Bowl. It's historic. It's historic time for IU. And again, I'm kind of just along for the ride because my husband's the IU grad. And as my father-in-law so rudely, he was kind of rude about it, but I still adore him and it's fine. When I was like, well, I don't know if I really want to go all the way across the country, go to a football game. Like, I feel like I could watch it on TV. And I said, but I'm in it for the trip. I'm in it for the trip to Cali. That's what we're doing. I'm in it for the trip to Beverly Hills, if you know what I'm saying. And he's like, yeah, well, I hope you understand that that degree is paying for your trip. Just so you know, I just said nothing back. Except, yes, I'm fully aware. Past the wontons. Like, really? Okay, so that happened. But we're at the Rose Bowl. It is 1/1/2026, which is a 1. So 1/1/1, technically numerologically, right? Right. Yeah. And I get a text from my landlord, from the building owner of the dance studio, and says, Happy New Year. I'm like, oh, how nice. Scrolling down, Happy New Year. I hate to do this, but as of March 1st, your rent is going up $1,500. And then again, September 1st, another $1,500 a month. I'm like, we're a dance studio. This is a 150-year-old building that's been under construction for 4 years now. We've never had a day without construction. And you want to raise my rent $3,000. And thanks to my husband, who's my lawyer, never put it in writing. They just had a gentleman's handshake over this. He can legally do that. So this time next year, I don't know if I'm going to own a dance studio or not. We're going to see. I'm scrappy. I'm resourceful. But also, I've been setting these intentions to clear out things that are no longer working for me, to move me away from things that are not working financially, energetically, and move me towards what I will be happier in. I really want to do more mediumship. And when I teach 3 nights a week, plus in the spring for 6 months, we've got dance competitions between judging and going to dance competitions with my studio and all the other things we have going on. Um, it's a lot. It's a lot. Um, I know. It is. I agree, Astro Queen. It really is hard. And the plan all along, by the way, was for me to retire at 55. Well, I turned 55 this year in August. Remember how I was saying that I've kind of believe that our cycles run in through our birthdays, even though collectively it's a collectively a uh a number one year. I don't know that I'll step into my full power of that number one year until closer to my birthday, which is where my cycle is, which is where my astrology is. So I still see things kind of falling apart. Now, not falling apart, but like coming out of, like clearing out of my awareness and realigning me. Good morning, Postal Goddess. Realigning me with things that are going to benefit me. Thank you. Benefit me over the next 9-year cycle. Okay. So what is the universe lining us up for? What are we getting rid of? And even stepping away, being okay with all the garbage that's happened. Like I had a lot in the last 9 years. It was literally 9 years ago that 9 years ago, May, that something happened in my family that was a game changer. My brothers haven't spoken to me in 9 years. Our family had to do a lot of healing and a lot of work. And they are, well, 10-year cycles, but a 10 is a 1. Yeah. It's 9-year cycle and new beginnings. And I feel like your number one year is the year of planning. It's the year of showing up for yourself and laying the groundwork. Because even if you look at, say, let's look at the tarot. Ace of Wands or aces, period, are, but let's take Ace of Wands. All right. Ace of Wands is the birth of an idea about something you're passionate about, something that burns a fire in you that like gets you excited. It can be, it's more about passion and excitement than it is relationships or it could be a new business even, right? Pentacles tend to be new job opportunities, but I feel like when you are an entrepreneur, like that's the time. An Ace of Wands represents like a new business, a new passionate adventure, right? And yes, the year of the fire horse. You know what's interesting is I wore my fire heart necklace today. So the 9 years cleaning it up. It's like clearing it out, getting rid of the things that are no longer necessary. But what are we, looking at, what are we setting ourselves up for? We've cleared things out. What are we setting the intentions of? So if I'm looking at this thing with my dance studio, I'd said all along, like we'd open it and then eventually I would just hand it off to my partner and she's been putting in that sweat equity. She does draw, like she's not working for free. That's for sure. I'm working for free. And so here we are, we're in our 6th year with that, but looking at even the last 9 years, that was such a game changer over the last 9 years, seeing like the family dynamic, right? But if I'm looking at now I'm in a 1 year, if I'm comparing it to the 9 of Wands, right? What do I do going forward that I'm passionate about this next year as a year number 1? I'm being a fire sign. Yeah. Cause somebody else, Astro Cream was bringing that up. Fire, the Aries, Sag, and Leos, we're all fiery, right? And in the year of the fire horse, stepping into that energy of doing what we're passionate about. And I love dance. I've been a dance teacher for 38 years. It's what I do. I went to college to do dance performance and to be able to teach dance. Hello, H Spring. But also like I've been spending so much time in the last 15 years developing as a medium and developing my skills and understanding spirit and being a student of the universe and a student of tarot, of again, mediumship, of trance, and now I'm a teacher doing this. And as I get older, I find that that's where I want my energy to go. So the plan all along was to turn the studio over to my partner and I would just teach. I'm like, cool, hire me. But now with this whole situation, going back to on Rose Bowl day, I'm at the Rose Bowl. I get that text um, from my landlord saying, congratulations, your rent's going up $3,000 a month and you can't do anything about it. And if it doesn't work out, too bad, so sad, we'll find somebody else. And shut up, Neil, whatever. Get out of here. No, I don't need that garbage. Bye-bye. Okay. But whatever. Don't come in here and tell me what to do. I don't even know that person. Anyway, it's also my new energy. Get out. And I didn't realize. Okay. Michelle, I will let you handle the next round of people if necessary. So as we're moving into this 1 year, I get the thing from my landlord saying, here's all the dollars that you're going to have to pay extra. And it put a damper on it. Really, really upset me because I could not stop thinking. I needed to tell my partner about this. I needed to, and my husband's like, just let it go. You can't do anything about it today anyway. You got to focus on the game. I'm like, my landlord just dropped this nugget on me because you dropped the ball, my friend. You did not put this in writing and now he can legally do this. He's like, well, just close the business. He just doesn't care. But I'm seeing it now. This happened on 1/1/1, right? Our seats were in row 18, which is the number 9. And I sat in seat number 111. By the way, I'm a Life Path 3, so I thought that was kind of cool too. But the best part, I got that text at 11:11 a.m. Like, that's the kind of stuff you can't make up. Right? And what's interesting, Michelle, you said you're Life Path 3. I'm a Life Path 3, and this year for me is a personal year 3. So I was sitting in seat 111 in row 18. Right? And then, here's another interesting number thing. We sat on the 50-yard line. 5 is conflict. Yeah. So it was just an interesting day overall. Yes, exactly, Michelle. 1 + 8 is 9. So you've got your number 9 sitting on the 50-yard line. There was going to be conflict that day. So exactly, Spirit's just telling me to listen. Exactly, Amy. And I was listening. And also, fun fact, graduates from, and I'm sure it's not just IU, but it doesn't matter whether you're a current college student or a 70-year-old college graduate from IU, a lot of people still party like they're still living in a fraternity house. That was wild to watch. Oh man, my husband's like, do you want something to drink? I'm like, nope, I got great entertainment. I don't even know what's happening with the game. Just watching the people around me was wild. So I'm just saying. I learned a lot that day, but now we're going to be heading to Atlanta. It'll be fun. I just see an 89-year-old man do a headstand. See, I saw an elderly man trying to jump over seats and he was like falling over. I'm like, yo, dude, just because you went to IU 100 years ago and probably witnessed the last time they were in a bowl game, doesn't mean you should be doing this stuff right now. How about we not have to call an ambulance because you think you're still 19 years old or 21? It was wild. It was cool though. It was cool people watching. It was great people watching, actually. Like I didn't partake in alcohol. I didn't need to. It was like great people watching. Anyway, so going back to this number one in setting intentions. I, instead of doing a resolution, I find that, how many of you, show of hands, fail at resolutions? Like, fail at resolutions. Me, I fail at resolutions. I'm interested to hear. Yeah. Yeah, show of hands, who's not great at resolutions and sticking to them the whole year? Exactly. We don't even set them because we're fail. Yeah, no good with those. None. Not good at all. I am awful at resolutions, mostly because I'm so ADD that I forget they exist. Anybody else deal with that with their ADD? Like, you just kind of forget that you said things, you forget that you were going to do things, and it completely leaves your mind and body and spirit, and you're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot I was going to do that." Like, once it hits like June, you're like, "Oh yeah, I was going to go to the gym, wasn't I?" Um, yeah. If you're going to change something that happens overnight. Yep. Um, yeah, so I'm not good at setting doing the resolutions thing. I'm just not good at it. Um, you don't make them realistic. That's the problem I think a lot of people have, is we don't, if you're gonna set a resolution, it's like, I'm gonna go to the gym and like, you have all these things. Spirit inspired me a long, long time ago to just not do resolutions, but to set a theme for the year, an overall arching vibe. And probably about 5 years ago, I was like, instead of setting a vibration, how about just pick a word? Pick a word. Hi, Jen. I know it is. My ADHD meds just make me chill out. That's it. I don't think any faster. I just chill. And so what is it, if I'm looking at how I want my life to look within the year? What vibration do I need to hold? What intention do I need to set that will align me with those goals? Okay. So a couple years ago, it's 3 years ago actually, I chose authenticity as my word. And because at that time I was like, I am so tired of trying to be what everybody, fit into other people's boxes, fit, because I mean, it got lonely. It got lonely for, for a long time, not fitting in. But then I was like, but I need my people. And the only way I'm going to find my people is if I'm myself and people see me for me and want to be around me in my true nature, in my true self. And I found that when if you're not living an authentic life, if you're not just being yourself, when people say things to you like, you're so awesome, you're so cool, you don't believe them, because you know that they don't know you. I want you to sit with that concept for a second. Sit with that for a second. If you find yourself not believing, my true self is pretty tolerable. Thanks. And honestly, if you don't like yourself, if you don't like your authentic self, change it. If there's something you don't like about yourself, it's time to change it. Only you can do that, right? I've started saying to people, you don't know me at all. How can you make any judgments? And that can go in good or bad. That can go either way. If you are not living authentically, if people do or don't like you, you'll never take that seriously anyway, because they don't know you. You're not living authentically. I found 3 years ago, when I chose to live authentically, and agreed, April, I was going to say that too. Judgments say more about them than, yeah. And what I found was, even on TikTok and in the spiritual community, I found that there were people that no longer vibed with me. And they would tell me, hey, if you want to be in our group, if you want to be associated with us, you can't say this, 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 and this. You can't do this, 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 and this. And you need to be more humble and more kind. I'm like, bitch, what are you talking about? I am awesome. They just didn't like my vibe. Michelle, you know me long enough. You remember all of that. Like the people I used to hang with, but they were trying to dictate to me. And I was like, but that's not who I am. That is not what's going to make me successful. That's not who I want to be. It is very much spiritual gatekeeping, but you could take that to any situation, your job, your religion, your relationships. If you are not being authentically yourself, then you're not going to believe anybody when they say they like you. And you're going to think people that don't like you, you're going to fight harder to get them to like you, because I don't know why, but you will. Right? Full disclosure, I'm not a therapist, so take everything I say with a grain of salt. Just speaking from my own experience. But I found that when I chose the word authenticity, and every time I was faced, especially that first year, well, welcome, Bria. We're talking about authenticity and setting intentions for the year. Yesy, I've missed you. Happy New Year, friend. I found that as I stepped into my own authenticity, my friend groups changed, my entire landscape changed, my trajectory changed, everything changed, but for the better. And at the time, it was a personal year 1 for me. So 3 years ago, because I'm in a personal year 3 right now. So 3 years ago, I was in a year number 1 personal year. And a lot of people right around my birthday saw themselves to the door. The veil came, everything was revealed. And I'm like, whoa, what? Okay. And as I live in authenticity and being who I am, and that includes when you do something terrible or dumb or say something or hurt somebody, being authentic means owning that as well. Good morning, Rachel. Owning that as well. And recognizing, oh, I just did that. Recognizing your own thought patterns. Holding yourself accountable. Okay, that comes with authenticity. Because if you're not acknowledging that authentic self of you, that authentic version of yourself, if you're not recognizing the things that do need to be fixed, the things that you do want to change, that maybe you're just not happy with. And where did that come from? A lot of it's just pre-programming. It's just programming. It's from being raised around certain people, being around certain people. When you step into that, and it took me 3 years before giving up that word. 3 years I sat with that word. And every time I was faced with a situation, I would say, am I being authentic to myself? Is my reaction before I react, how do I show up as a genuine version of myself in this? Even if it means I don't like myself in that moment, how do I show up? Am I being authentic to my belief system? Am I being authentic to? So I quit being quiet in situations. When I'm seeing someone speak down to, if I'm seeing a man speak down to a woman, my authentic self is screaming. And now I'm more inclined to say, girl, I got you. Not feed into his negativity, but empower her. Right? Hello, Mai. So good to see you. Hey, I never see you in my lives. I love that. Thank you. But even though you had loss back then, the elevation exceeds. Yes, absolutely. And that's how I see it. Like attracts like on vibrational levels. Absolutely. So if you're stepping into that energy of, I'm going to be authentic, I'm going to stand up for people, I'm going to empower people because that's what I want. I want people, I want to surround myself. I want a really good friend that I love to spend time with. We call it our bougie girl lunches. We get all dressed up and we go to lunch someplace local. And sometimes we'll go to Tiffany's and just look around, just bougie girl stuff. Right. Um, and, and she said, this year, my intention is to surround myself with women who celebrate each other. And she goes, I want you to be part of that group. I'm like, I already am, girl. What are you talking about? She goes, no, I want to be able to send out a text and celebrate a win and not be judged for it. I'm like, again, girl, all day long, celebrate the wins and celebrate for each other, with each other. Celebrating wins. That's empowering. And so that's her trajectory this year. That's her goal this year, is to set that intention of empowering, whether it's empowering herself or others. And right, Kara? And I find that even when you live in authenticity and you've surrounded yourself with people that are also living authentically, that empowerment is part of it. It comes with it. It comes with that territory, right? So this year, I've spent a lot of years, 54 years in survival mode, literally survival mode, even through the years of authenticity and figuring out who I am, where do I want to land, who do I want to be, how do I want to show up for others, how do I want to show up for myself, right? That 3 years of really figuring out fixing the only thing I can fix and control, right? Myself. And how do I, now what? Going into this number 1 year, as all these relationships are changing, all the dynamics are changing, my belief system has really solidified in so many ways. My connection to spirit is insane right now. I am loving my relationship with spirit, with my guides, with my team, how they show up for me and how I receive that information. It's all part of being authentic and recognizing what's around you and being aware of what you bring to the table and where your energy is, and just embodying who you are, never backing down, being ashamed of who you are or being afraid of taking up space, right? So learning how to be authentic has been part of my deconstructing phase, because as a Gen Xer, you're raised to be seen and not heard. And I remember, like, if I would say something, I would just always be talked down to, like, that's stupid. Why are you saying that? And just being discounted at every turn. And even in those times where I was actually literally crying for help or trying to get help, it fell on deaf ears a lot of times. And so I've been in, looking at even at the dance studio, we have fought and fought and fought and fought for 6 years, and people don't want us there. Our town does not want us there. Our mayor does not want us there. Our neighbors do not want us there. They're doing everything they possibly can to make us move. And now our landlord, who doesn't even understand what's happening in the town, is now going to jack up my rent like exponentially to 50%, more than 50% increase in my rent with no notice, right? So instead of just me fighting for space, fighting for that attention, fighting to be accepted, fighting, and surviving, I'm embracing my new word. Y'all ready for this? My new word is thrive. I'm not just surviving, I'm thriving. And what that means going forward is every scenario I'm faced with, my reaction to a scenario, my reaction to a situation that's happening, my reaction has to be in alignment with thriving, not surviving. I'm tired of, backpedaling and da 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 da, back, and like picking up pieces. How do I just move forward? So say my dance studio has to close this year because we just cannot afford that. Then I say, I'm going to thrive in the next phase. Thank you, Elias. Hello, Elias. Good morning. Happy New Year, my friend. Make sure you guys go check out Elias. I'm on his podcasts and his lives and all that stuff. Go check him out. And he does all the good things. So how do I align with my highest good, remain in the authenticity that I worked my ass off for 3 years to step into that energy? And I've had to learn to even stand up to my husband when I'm being myself, be like, you need to calm down. I'm like, oh, you're just trying to get a black eye, aren't you? You're trying to sleep on the couch, aren't you? Like, what are you talking about? You married this. This is what you get, right? And so I'm like, I have to be authentic. I have to be myself because it no longer feels right to try to fit into other people's boxes and to fit into other people's expectations of what I should be. So now that I've done that, I've moved on from that feeling of surviving. And so this number 1 year that's happening, I'm moving forward in a way that says, how do I thrive? How do I work towards the goals? You know what? This is what I want. I want to own that private plane. I want to have to need that private plane. So because I'm in demand all over the country and I have to fly somewhere at a moment's notice because some movie star needs me to do a reading for them and only wants to do it in person. Like, that's the intentions I'm setting. Like, that's where I want to go. And if I am trying to survive over here in scenarios that no longer suit me or serve my greatest and highest good, that no longer serve that authentic version of myself, then I'm never going to get those goals. So at this point, I would say to you, whether you're watching this live right now or you're watching a replay of it in a year, what word helps you hit every goal? What word puts you in alignment? Yes, Elias, align. Yes. What perfect timing. What? And Alicia, hello. I swear I have not forgotten you. But your life has been insanely amazing, side note. And I love watching all your adventures. I'm just saying. We're going to get that deck done. We're going to get it done. Okay. Anyway. So that being said, what is it that we're going to, because I adore you and you're fantastic and amazing. And we're going to make this happen. I promise. So by the way, friends, Alicia is awesome. She's an awesome, amazing artist. And we've been working on a project, but we're so busy fixing ourselves and doing amazing things and building our careers that we keep not meshing and aligning, but we're going to get there. I promise. So I would challenge you to think about the word that defines or that sends you in alignment, as Elias said, with where you want to be. And maybe this is the year that you step into your own authenticity. Maybe this is the year that you move on. Hi, Soul Journey. Maybe this is the year that, I don't know, what's another word? In my class last night, we were talking about words, and words have intention, the meaning behind words. And somebody had said, I want to be fearless. And I said, but what's another word for fearless that gives a trajectory, as opposed to fearless feels like you're still picking up the pieces from the word fear. And maybe fearless will work for that person. It's their journey, it's their word, it's their choices. But what about bravery? What about, oh, we got the little puzzle piece on TikTok. What about aligning yourself with a word that is what you want to be, where you want to go? Okay. Ooh, I love that, Ladora. Authenticity is your word for this year. Yes, I love that. Alicia, confident. Girl, you should be confident. Man, you are doing it. You are doing the thing. You are doing the thing. And a lot of eyes are on you right now going, look at her go do the thing all over the country. I'm so proud of you. You're like literally one of the first people that I think I met, or not met, but like you've been around since day one. Because of the Sassenach group. So I've known you since the day that I stepped into this space. I love that. Confident, living the life I deserve after all the work I've put in. Yes. Everything I do has to be in alignment with my heart. Yes, Elias. Yes. I think it was like 2020. Hello, Rosie. Welcome in. We're talking about alignment. Limitless was last year for Ladora. Ooh, yes, that's a good vibration. Limitless. Unlimited is the word that or the song Unlimited. I love me a good Wicked soundtrack. Limitless. I love it. Authenticity. What else? What other good words? I love brave, courageous. Think about where you are in your life. What is it that you're trying to step away from? Okay, with free? Oh, yeah, that was another one. Yeah, freedom was another one. Oh, I have them right here. I have these words right here. Gratitude was one of them. Determination. Okay, determination. Consistent. What was the other one? Prioritize. Shine. What are some of the other words? Let's see. Empower. Oh, someone else said implementation. Is everything you're doing, conversations that you're having, aligning you with implementing your goals? Hi, Tina. Shine. Yes. Good, Sunny. I love that. I love that for you. What's going to align you with your goals as you let go of this year number 9 and step into the year number 1, the collective year number 1. And if you don't know what your personal year is, how to find that is to do your birthday. So you do your numbers for your birthday. So like, say your birthday is February 22nd, 1972. Okay. So you would say 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 2. And you get a number. And then you add those numbers up until you keep adding them up until you get down to a single number. That's your life path number. Ooh, yes, my alignment. Yeah. So choose the word that gets you to where you want to be and the intentions you want to set for this next 9, not just for the year, but for your 9-year cycle. They can calculate it online if they're bad at math. Yes. You just do it with a calculator even. Just add the numbers up. If you want to know your personal number, your personal year number, you add up the number of, like your 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 6, because 2026. All right. And that personal year starts at your birthday. That personal year number starts at your birthday, and your life path is your whole vibration over the whole time. I'm so fascinated with numerology. It's wild to me how accurate it is in vibration. And And many years ago, one of my words was I've done confidence, and I've done learn, be open to learning as much as I possibly could instead of just going in the mundane, doing everything in routine. And if you're a mom, well, hi, welcome in, Amanda. We're talking about numerology and alignment and choosing an intentional word for the year instead of like a resolution, because we all tend to fail at resolutions, right? So what's your word? What are other good words? What are other good words? So if you could sit down with a friend who's trying growth, ooh, yes, is looking at your goals. Good morning, Reggie. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. Looking at your overall arching vibe or theme for the word, if you're looking at the trajectory of what are your end goals, what do you want the end of the year to look like, and what do you want to in 5 years? What do you want that to look like? Where should your life be? Where do you want to be in 9 years? What do you want to accomplish in this 9-year cycle? The thought of that, first of all, is slightly terrifying to me as a 55. I'm going to be 55 this year. To think about in 10 years, like I'll be in mid 60s. Like that's insane to me, because this last 10 years and the 10 years before that flew by. It does not feel like my family fell apart 9 years ago. It doesn't feel like it was 9 years ago. It feels like it was a month ago. It feels like it was a year ago. Like, so being realistic in understanding that this 9-year cycle is going to go by a lot faster than what we think. Okay. Thank you. Well, TikTok has really good filters. Just saying. I feel like in real life, I do look like I'm in my 50s. Yeah, but thank you. So what other words? What other words would get, and in thinking of a positive projection, again, going back to looking at the words like, do we want to be fearless or do we want to be brave? Words matter. Vibration matters. And okay, now I'm curious. So when I was a kid, before I knew anything like numerology, I was a little kid. I wanted to come up with a language of numbers. That only a tap dancer would do this, by the way, or a mathematician or someone scientific minded. But in my case, it was definitely tap dancer minded, because numbers, there's consistency in numbers. Numbers are dependable. They never change. There's vibration in numbers. I wanted so badly to create a language of just numbers. Turns out that's numerology, but whatever. So what I did was I started writing notes to my friends with whatever number the alphabet was. So like A was 1, B was 2, C was 3, right? So I would just start writing notes to my friend who's like super smart in numbers, right? And yeah, you did the same. Isn't that hilarious? Isn't that hilarious? So but now let's do that. All right. So if you have, say your word is brave. Okay. Well, now I don't know the numbers for these. That was a great example. Brave versus fearless. Fearless is including part of the lower vibration. Yes, exactly, Reggie. Exactly. That's what we talked about that in my class last night. And Spirit was hardcore on it. They were like, great word. However, where do you give that trajectory? Where do you give your energy? So if I'm looking at brave, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. So 18. So 2 plus 18 plus 1. STUV 22 and 5. So 2, 3, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21. So the word brave is, if you add up the numbers that each one would be, comes to a number 3. Number 3 is about like entrepreneurship. It's creativity. It's authenticity. So if you look at the overall arching vibe of that number, let's see, where's my book? Where's my book? I don't have my numerology book down here. I have a whole really awesome book. Ow. That's what I get for lowering my desk earlier today. So if I'm looking at the word brave, okay, then the number 3, we create. Out of partnership of the number 2 comes offspring, births, children, new plans. Okay, 3 is the number of joy, procreation. Ugh, not doing that in my 50s. Completion, travel, pleasure, happiness, enthusiasm, planning, preparation, optimism, imagination, fun, entertainment, art, talent, written and spoken word, benefits of the fruits of partnership, adaptability, self-expression. All that comes with bravery. I know, right? Right. We're like, nope, nope, no, thank you. So take your word and look at its numeric vibration. Okay. So 19, 5. 12, 18. So I'm doing fearless to see what that comes out as. 12, 13, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 30, 40, 4. And really, okay, so fearless as a word is vibration number 4. It's a numeric number 4, if I've done my math right, which is about foundations, structure. So really, so think about what your chosen word is and even give it a numerology number to see if it aligns with what you are hoping to do in your year. Bravery, that's another good one. So if we take brave and add the R and the Y, we've got an 18 and a 25. So that's 7, 8, 16 to 7. So bravery is a number 7 year, or a number 7 vibration, which and you can even look up your tarot card that associates with your numbers. So bravery, 7 is a spiritual number. 7 refers to respite, introspection, contemplation, evaluation, soul development, biding your time, pondering choices. So you can see how adding that last 2 letters on there completely changes the vibration of the word. Okay, growth. I have to do lots of math here. So all you would do is like look at your numbers. So if you've got G, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G, number 7. R is 18, we've already established. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, 15. P, Q, I see R, S, wait, R, S, T, U, V, W, 23, 22, 8. All right, so growth, 16, 6, 5, 4, 8, 12. So 17, 13, 30. Growth is 3. Growth is a 3. So looking, like, be mindful energetically of what you're putting out there. Okay. Good morning, Todd. Oh, that's so cool that you're in Hanoi. I've been following you. I'm following along with all your adventures on Facebook. I'm loving it. My word this year is me. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I take care of everyone else and I need to take care of me. Yes. Yes. Somebody else had chosen a word to recalibrate or to calibrate because they just feel like they're so scattered all over the place and they're giving to everybody else, and for so long they've been giving to everybody else, and they're trying to figure out, how do I need to stabilize. I need to stabilize myself. I need to energetically stabilize. And the word calibrate came in. So either whether it's recalibrate or calibrate. So if you feel like you're that scattered, maybe this year you step into that energy of, is this in alignment with the word calibrate? Is this going to help me feel balanced? Is this going to calibrate me? Or is this a part of my recalibration process? Or is it going to throw me into more chaos? So really being mindful of what that looks like, you know? Okay, over on Instagram, I'm frozen like this. How funny is that? Well, all right. At least I'm not like this. So what are other words? What are other words that we think that would be good to take into as an overall arching vibe to be in alignment with your trajectory? What is it? And maybe that means first you have to say, how do I envision myself in a year? What goals do I have for myself? I know that I want to do more mediumship. I want to be on stage more. Finding that balance between performing, which I love doing as a dancer. I love performing and entertaining and bringing joy to people. But I'm getting a little old for that. Like my knee hurts a lot. So, and I'm not always going to be able to dance on stage, right? But how can I get on stage to do mediumship and share the message of spirit, give spirit a voice, and healing people in mass numbers, proving the continuity of life to people in larger numbers? I'm okay with being on stage. Not everybody's meant to do that, and that's okay. But how do I create opportunities to do that for myself? I have to live in alignment. I have to not survive at the dance studio. I have to not survive and just constantly trying to get people to follow me on social media. I'm not trying to survive by constantly content creating and marketing myself. But if I shift that energy of how do I thrive, then maybe creating the content becomes more fun. It's that perspective of, how am I bringing my energy? How am I aligning myself? Am I surviving? Am I coming from a place of lack? Or am I thriving and coming from a place of abundance? I want abundance. I want more opportunities. I want to do more mediumship. I want to work with spirit more. I want to empower other people. In order to do that, what do I need to do? I personally should not be surviving over here. I should be thriving. Okay, Amy says, oh, wow, I added up gratitude, and it's a 6 in numerology. There we go. Oh, see, now it's saying that's been disconnected. Okay, hold on. Oh my goodness. Looks like I'm done on the Instas today. Yeah, well, bummer. All right. Sorry, I'm like doing other things. All right, there we go. So being in alignment with, again, the trajectory you want to create for yourself, looking at your end goals. And, and we were talking about manifesting. We've talked about that a number of times, right? Where you want to manifest what you want. You're not trying to manifest what you don't want. But by putting the energy of the words out there, you're creating intention. You're giving it legs by saying what you don't want. Okay. All the universe hears is the actual word. Right? So if I'm going, do I want to be brave or fearless? Think about the trajectory of the words and the root word there. If nothing else, look up the Latin word version of things, right? Um, see what the root word of it means. Okay. And where does that intention go? Does all make sense? Does that make sense? I think it makes sense. And I love that. I love that we can take words and play with them and give them energy and embrace the energy. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. How do we embrace that energy? And not just that, but embody that energy in order to get us to our end goal. How am I embodying the energy of thriving? And who knows, maybe that energy of thriving allows me to save the studio because the goal all along was to hand it off to my partner anyway. And I could still teach. I'm like, cool, here's the studio, hire me. You manage it, hire me. It doesn't mean I have to quit dance. Dance is it's who I am. Like it's just so much a part of my soul that I can't imagine not ever teaching or not ever dancing. But how do I create opportunities for myself to continue to grow in those other areas of my life if I'm always surviving, if I'm always in survival mode? How many of you understand that, by the way? If you're a woman, you understand, period. But not to say men don't understand, but how many of you feel like, especially if you're a parent, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, when you're a parent, you're just in survival mode till they're like adults. I feel like, you know, um, how many of you feel like you just survive majority of time? I'm glad you like it, Yessie. It does. It changes perspective. It changes your trajectory. It changes the energy for which you put into things, right? 100%, Amy said. Yeah. Yeah. Especially since my husband started working out on the road without me. Oh no. Some days the survival mode is harder than others. Yeah. Yes, he agreed. You've been in survival mode for a while. Girl, you got 100 kids. You've been in survival mode since day one. I love you so much. So what's the energy? What are we putting out there? How do we change from survival to thriving or to being authentic? Another contradictory word to authenticity would be, what would be a good word? Fake. I don't think people are fake, though, typically. Disingenuine? No, I don't know. Caregiving is a survival mode. Yes, dementia is cruel. Yes, Tina, you are correct. Masking, that's a good word. Oh, thank you, Rosemary. Hi, friend. Masking. And I don't believe that majority of us necessarily intentionally try to not be authentic. The act of not being authentic is an act of survival, usually. We are conditioned by our surroundings and by the people around us that in order to survive, in order to be part of the pack, to have people around you, you have to act, speak, do certain things. Right? So survival mode starts when we are children or when we get into relationships. And if you don't feel like you're if you don't bring an authentic version of yourself to the table, you have to ask yourself why. Why not? And I remember when I first, in those early days of people saying, other psychics saying, you're going to do this work. I'm like, oh God, no, I'm not. I can't. First of all, I don't see the, dead people. And also people, my husband wouldn't like it. Now I look at the benefit. Oh, a mimic. That's a good one, Amy. I look at the benefit of me stepping into my authenticity as a medium and honoring that side of myself. How many people I've helped, how many people I've empowered, how many people are in a better place now, not because I came along and I saved them, but because I chose authenticity to be my authentic self, to step into the mediumship, to step into that, and I'm able to help other people heal. By being an authentic version of yourself, you are able to do more good by other people. Sit with that for a second. Especially if you're that person who sacrifices everything and you do everything for everybody else. Are you really doing them a good service if you are not even bringing your own version of yourself to the table? You're trying to empower other people. You're trying to boost them up when you are in survival mode. And you're afraid to be authentic. You're trying to be disingenuous. You're trying to not be authentic in alignment with yourself to save someone else's feelings because you don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable because of you existing. Right? Amy says, you have been an inspiration and help make people feel empowered to do better and learn to be their true self. Thank you, Amy. I really do try. Good morning, Rebecca. Hello. Another fantastic person to follow. Author extraordinaire. When are we going to Europe? When are we going to go on that book tour? Oh, wait, I have to finish my book. Oh, it's so good to see you, Stephanie. Collins girl. Good to see you. Thank you for saying that, Roxanne. And I'm hoping, even in this conversation, me getting on here and babbling for 2 hours a week, whether I'm bringing people to you or whether I'm just talking and babbling about my own life, my hope is that me being authentic, showing up, unafraid to be myself, and sharing my stories, not for attention, not attention seeking, but if I can share a story, if I can share Spirit's messages and it helps you change your life in a better way, if I can inspire you to think a little differently, to empower yourself, worth it. It's worth it to me. It's worth it to me show up here every Thursday, even if it means only 5 people are watching me, but maybe one of those 5 people walks away and goes, you know what? Oh my God, I learned something today. I can be myself. That strange lady on TikTok gave me permission to be myself. So, hi, Moone Mama. Good to see you. So if I can inspire you to put on the crown if you want, for goodness sake. Do you know, like, that group that I used to be a part of back when I was in that personal year, number 9, transitioning into 1, and all those people were so toxic and trying to, like, literally lying about me online? There were a couple of them that had a whole discussion in a little group that I found out about later, making fun of me for wearing crowns. Like, why do you care? Also, you were talking about me? Like, seriously. Yeah. I'm just trying to, this work is not about me. No, it's not about me. I do like crowns because I love sparkle and it makes me feel happy. It just brings joy. And no, do I need a crown to do mediumship? Absolutely not. And if you have a one-on-one reading with me, you'll notice I don't wear a crown. It's never about the crown. It's a shtick, right? But also look at it. It's sparkly. It's fun. It's a tax deduction. You're welcome, Mr. Carr. With everything going on in the world right now, you'd think they'd have better things to do. Well, I mean, this was a long time ago. But yes, I agree with you, Rebecca. This was a long time ago. And that's right. I was special enough to talk about. You're welcome. You're welcome for giving you something to talk about while you're so bored with yourselves. You changed my world with the do you want fries with that? So glad. Most people don't tend to have better things to do. I know. I'm like, really? My name was in your mouth when I wasn't there? Okay. That's cool. Exactly. They could not be authentic. They could not come to the table and be authentic with me. They still wanted to be in my light. By the way, they were still around me. They were still drawing upon my people. They were still benefiting financially. They were benefiting from with followers, but they were benefiting because I was exposing them to things and to people that they would not have normally seen or been exposed to. And then when they all of a sudden were like, "Oh, but you can't wear crowns. That's just not okay." I'm like, "Oh, I can." And also, get the fuck out of here. I don't whatever. Are you kidding me? And that was no longer in alignment with what I wanted to do or be. So I had to step into my authenticity. So I wore that word for 3 years. So what are other good empowering words? I want to hear from you guys. What are other good empowering words that that you can carry into this year that gets you into alignment with where you want to be, not just at the end of this year, but in 9 years, in 5 years? Your trajectory. What are your hopes, dreams, and goals? And what's a word that allows you to get to that? What's another word? It does make me special. Thank you, Roxanne. And yes, as Amy said, that's jealousy because they couldn't be authentic. Gratefulness. Yes, grateful is another good word. Grateful, gratefulness. So we're talking, if you're new in here, what we're self-aware. Ooh, that's a good one. Self-aware. Okay. Alchemy. Interesting. Now, where do you get, why that? Why alchemy? I'd be curious to know your thoughts on that. Alchemy. As an overall arching like an energy for the year. I kind of love that. Balance. Oh, that's a good one. Yes, balance. Last year I did a lot of energy towards the end of the year of like balancing. I think looking at something that might not seem like the ideal situation, but blasts you into something better. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Ideal situation, but blasts you into. So is that really alchemy? I like where you're starting with that. Like now my brain is turning. Now my brain is turning. Hi, Lacey. Good to see you. How do we take that word? It's turning the lead to gold. Ooh. So it's transformation. Mindset. That's another good one. Mindset. So alchemy is transformation. I've got something for the first people who messaged me. God did. Anybody want to handle that? Oh, there we go. Thanks, Yessie. What are you guys finding words for? We are setting intentions instead of resolutions. Thanks for asking, because we've been talking about this for so long. I should probably transmute that into a blog. Yessie for the win. She's transmuting that garbage into a block. That made my whole day. I love it. All right. So anyway, the words we're talking about is, instead of New Year's resolutions, how are we aligning ourselves with a vibration or a word that aligns us with where we want to be, that gives us trajectory of where we want to be. And just being mindful of, so like there was 3 years, I chose the word authenticity. Your word, it's a 5. Okay, so what's if you take your word, 5s are conflict, but conflict um, in a way of learning, which allows you to have lessons, like you're learning harder lessons maybe, or change the word. Change the word. Add something to it. Maybe like what Reggie was saying, brave into bravery. It changed it from a 3 to a 7, right? How do you or just embrace that number 5. Okay, so we're talking about words that align us where we want to go. So this year I'm not surviving anymore, I'm thriving, because that's going to get me thriving. That energy of thriving is going to get me to where I want to go. Some people have said, awareness, bravery, freedom. Another word that I think is really good is independence. I like freedom too, though, because the word free, I like independence, but even that gives me a little bit of because the word dependent is in there. So what's another good word for independence? Freedom is a good word. Definitely learning to be more independent for sure. Okay. Self-reliant. Would that be a good way to put independence? Confident. Independent. What's another good word for independence? Because it means to stand alone and be able to do things on your own. I changed it to joy. It's a 4. Yes, I love that. Okay, what else? Independence. What's another good word? Self-assured. Okay. Autonomous. Oh, yeah, that came up last night too. Autonomous or autonomy. I like that. Autonomy or autonomous. Having that vibe of putting the mask on first, choosing yourself, having that empowerment. Yep. That freedom to do what you need to do. Liberty. Ooh, liberty's a good one. Liberty's a good one. Autonomous, autonomy, liberty, sovereignty. What? As I'm watching Victoria, I'm wearing my crown. Sovereignty. Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. Self-sufficiency. Woo! See, look at that. Look at that. You guys are so good. Okay, so thinking about solitary. Ooh, solitary. That's a good one, especially if you're in a personal year number 1, learning how to be with yourself. That was part of my authenticity journey in that year number 1, my personal year number 1, learning how to be by myself and be okay with not having that crowd of people around me that I thought I needed to be a part of, but turns out I was just, part of a toxic group. Liberated. Ooh, there we go. Self-trust. Okay. Oh, these are all amazing words, you guys. Great words. Personal power. Okay. Great words. And then as you sit with those words, do they embody and give trajectory, the energetic trajectory that will align you with your end goal? And maybe you don't know what your end goal is necessarily. Maybe you just know that you want to be happy. Maybe you know that you want to be able to go wherever you want, do whatever you want without people giving you the business about it. And what word gets you there? What intention or vibration gets you there? Conviction. Ooh, that's another good one. Although convict may not be the root word of that might not be. Might get you in trouble. I don't know. Intentional. Yes, intentional I think is an excellent word. Intentional. Another word, I think, actually, I just said it, excellence. What if you're holding yourself to a higher standard? What if you've got to have a higher standard for yourself in order to get to somewhere? Maybe you have to embody excellence. Okay. But I love intentional. That's a really good one. Might be my trajectory at this point. I love it. Don't be taking people out on the live. Conviction. I love that. Good morning, Kelsey. We're doing well. We're talking about words, and thank you, Rosemary. Appreciate you. We're talking about words and intention and themes for the year that get us to where we want to go. Convict can also mean committed, convict, yep, or decided, which can be good. Absolutely, Amber. That's what I'm saying. You got to look at the root word of what it means, not just what it kind of means in our society, but what it means to you. Looking at the Latin, look at the Latin derivative of it. You know, what does that mean? It's a dragon. It's my favorite. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. Thank you, Ashley. I have not one idea, but these gifts do, but I hope they boost you. Yes, they actually do. If TikTok knows that they're making money, then they're going to keep pushing me out to the FYP. Yeah. And that's cool with me because the more people I can talk to, the more people I can help. It's all good. Self-preservation. Okay. I like it. So more words, other words. What are other words? So maybe, okay. So actually the word preserve, that who would be a person that would that would thrive in the word preserve? Maybe someone who is trying to solidify a legacy, who's trying to preserve a legacy, or maybe they lost a loved one. Maybe they are now the matriarch of the family or the patriarch of the family. Maybe they're the leader of the family now, and they have to step into a role of preserving the legacy of someone else. But even then, is preserving a version of surviving? I'm like thinking in real time here. I missed the letter to number calculation. How do you do? Oh, just the number in the alphabet. So A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4. Align it that way. All the way to the 26. And then write out all the numbers to the word and then add up each of the numbers and keep adding them up until you get down to a single number. Knowing your roots, ancestry. Yeah. Sometimes it is good to know where you came from before you know where you're going to go. I wrote down all the numbers for the letters. Very cool. So, thank you, Rosemary. And so if you're on the fence between two words, like again, like what Reggie was saying, brave versus bravery, those two words have different numeric vibrations. So if you're going to follow the numerology, then find the number of that word, the numerology number, and then see if that trajectory, that numerology aligns with where you want to go. Optimistic. Okay. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I need to look at thrive. So 22, 8, 18. Oh, wait a minute. Is that right? Is it brave number 3? Hold on. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S. T. Okay, hold on. H, I, J, KLMNO. I did that wrong. QRSTUVWXYZ. I totally messed something up here. 6, 7, 8. I'm doing what Roxanne just did. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, I totally messed up on growth. Growth is not number 3. I totally messed up on the numbers on that. 2, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay. So if I look at Thrive, that's 20, 8, 18, 22, and 5. All right. So 10, 19. Okay. So 19, 4. So 9, 18, 19. Oh, that's crazy, you guys. No, it's not my washer. It's my cleaning lady. She's upstairs cleaning. So Thrive, after adding up with the appropriate numbers, you guys ready for this? Preservation is 9. That's crazy. Thrive is 1. And I decided that literally within the hour of getting that on day 1 of year 1, getting my text at 11:11, sitting in seat number 111 in row 19 at the Rose Bowl, that my word was no longer survive, it was thrive. And thrive is a number 1. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? I love it. Might be something to this. I know one of my favorite classmates, Daryl, world famous author, by the way. He's published so many books, Daryl Shun. He's fantastic. He's like, he just turned 80 this year. And he's like, I don't know, Lorenda, there might be something to this. I'm going to have him on my show at some point too. He's freaking awesome. I love him. So, like, man of knowledge. I know. Isn't that crazy? I can't believe I hadn't even thought of that myself. Mommy, I can, because spirit usually motivates me to think of things. Oh my gosh, you guys want to hear another story? Another spirit story? I have a spirit story from yesterday. This is a perfect example, by the way, of how our guides show up for us. And we had class last night. My all-level spiritual development class. If you've never taken it before, you should. What are you doing with your life? Anyone's welcome, no matter where you are in your development journey or what your background is. So yesterday was hair day. Got my hair done. And I had class last night. Thank you, Yessie. Had class last night, and I knew, like, I always let Dr. Mike, my teacher, spirit guide, pretty much teach the class. But this time, Star, my master teacher, whom I haven't really worked with a lot lately, came in really strong yesterday. And I love to play games with my spirit team. Like, all right, spirit, how you showing up today? What am I looking for today? What signs are you going to give me today? Just to keep that connection, that vibration going, that I'm still, and I never, ever feel alone. I always feel like I have people around me at all times, even if I'm by myself. And I was like, okay, so what am I teaching? Like, what are we working on tonight? And Dr. Mike goes, it's not on me today. It's not me. And Star stepped in and said, it's going to be me. I'm like, oh, am I making that up? Am I making that up in my head? Are you sure I don't need to plan something? Am I just like bypassing this and like getting out of doing what I needed to do? And so I said, I can't remember what popped into my head at the time as a topic or something like that. I honestly don't remember now. I'm sitting, by the way, I've got foils in my hair and I'm sitting by the dryer, not under the dryer because it wasn't on. I'm just sitting and letting it process. And then I was like, did I just make that up in my head? If I didn't make that up, if that was you, Spirit, make me feel like I have a kiss on my cheek. Kiss me on the cheek. And I was like, okay, I'm thinking in my mind, that's a good challenge, right? Again, no, I'm in a salon. I'm not near a door, near a window. Nobody's walking by. I'm just kind of off in the corner by myself. I kid you not. I feel a cool breeze on my face, a cool breeze, like very specifically right here. And then one of my hairs like went, and it felt like I got kissed on the cheek. I'm like, okay, that was clever. That was clever. Good one. And I was like, all right, so bring it. What else? And then I had texted a couple of the students that I know are going to be in the class. And I was like, hey, Star wanted me to reach out to a few students and get some ideas. I wanted to get some ideas. What do you think we should talk about tonight? And the things that they were suggesting were actually things that were kind of on my radar. Right. And I was like, you guys aren't going to believe this. And so then, hi, Tammy. We're just talking about my experience yesterday with you guys coming up with ideas and then Spirit showing up at the salon the way they did. And then I hear, like, there's always music going on in the background at the salon. But I can never really hear it because it's just it's just background noise, right? All of a sudden, they went ahead and put me under the dryer. So the dryer is running at this point, but I hear tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's gonna be, that's all I could hear. I couldn't hear any of the other words. Right. And I'm like, okay. Oh, I remember what it was. Tammy, who just came in here. Oh my God, Tammy, I was just talking about this. Tammy is the one who says, I think it was Tammy. It's either Tammy or Amy. Shoot, now I don't remember. Says Star came through and said, get ready for the show. Get ready for the show. And I was like, I wonder what that even means. And then the music starts playing. I'm like, okay, that's funny. Like this was within minutes of Tammy sending this. And I'm getting this. I'm like, okay, that's hilarious. Now you're just giving me a concert. Okay, cool. I get the kiss on the cheek and the concert. So then I go to get my hair rinsed and they're putting the glossy stuff on, doing the thing. And the music's been playing this whole time. I have no idea what else has been playing since then. Like there's like 2 or 3 songs from the time I went from here, tonight's going to be a good night, to the sink, right? And then all of a sudden I hear the music again and it's, hey, soul sister. Hey, soul sister. Na, 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 na. Oh, no, I can't even remember the words now. I know this song by Train. Hey, soul. Anyway, hey, soul sister. And then tonight, that song. And I am cracking. I've got the biggest smile. I know the lady doing my hair thought I was kind of crazy because I was just like, I had the biggest, cheesiest smile, like shit-eating grin on my face. Like I knew something that nobody else knew. And I'm like, okay, that was funny. So Star brought the show through music. Perfect example of clairaudience, by the way, friends. And so, yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was really funny that they showed up that way. And then honestly, we ended up doing that exercise that the other ladies had suggested. And it was really cool because then we did intentions and talked about words and vibration and everything that we've been talking about today. That was part of our class work. So in case you're wondering, that's kind of stuff we do in class sometimes. We go on field trips to the Akashic Records and we meet our spirit guides. And sometimes we do message work and sometimes we just talk about things that we need to know about that help us be better humans, better people, better friends, better better mediums, better spiritual people. You know, I'm a firm believer, by the way, that you can take a development class just for you, just for yourself. You do not have to take classes to be a professional medium. And hi, Looney Tunes. How are you? You don't have to go to development classes because you're trying to be a professional. Just like you don't necessarily have to go take a dance class because you're trying to be a professional dancer. Maybe you just want to go exercise. Maybe you want to, maybe you just want to meet other people. Maybe you want to just do something cool, get in tune with your body, right? It's the same. And thank you for saying that, Tammy. Very safe place and so special. Sometimes we do mediumship. Sometimes Dr. Mike comes in and says, listen, Lorenda, you're cute. I can do it better. And I end up channeling the class. Sometimes we step into vibration of doing a meditation and going on field trips. Sometimes we learn new techniques, like vocal points. And that's something we haven't talked about in a long time either, is vocal points and like, how do you get messages and how do you do that? How do you get to know your own spirit team and how do you utilize your spirit team for yourself? Okay. So there is a creator who at one point blocked me, by the way, who actually had recently put out a video, and I didn't know she unblocked me until someone sent me the video. And I was like, oh, look, it's this person. I thought she blocked me. Interesting. She wasn't following me, but she had unblocked me, which is kind of cool, I guess. Whatever. Don't care. And hi, Christy. And she had just put out a video saying not everybody can be a medium. And there are really famous mediums that will say, not everybody can do this. No, we all can do it. It's just not everybody should. Evil people with intention of just getting rich and being a dog and pony show should not be doing this, should not be doing mediumship. They should be connecting to spirit to maybe, I don't know, choose better, learn how to do better, right? Sometimes we just hold space for each other and bear witness to our experiences, which is a thing. Absolutely. Yes, Rosemary. Yes. So, you know, finding your own voice, learning how to utilize your own spirit team. It's not just about mediumship. And that's why I refuse to do a mediumship circle. Like I'll do mediumship classes. I'll do like separate workshops and stuff like that occasionally. But, for the most part, I prefer sticking with all levels spiritual development because that's what we are doing, whether we are practicing mediums or we are stepping into a space of just bettering ourselves, like going to an exercise class. That's what I've tried to create, you know? And that's why I do like separate classes. Like I'll do trance class as a separate class. I'll do Spirit Guides 101 as a separate class. And as I do less teaching dance over the next year, I'll be able to offer more of those classes. Ruthie, hello, my friend. Hello, good to see you. And so we were just talking about my classes and we've been talking about intentions, girlfriend. You missed it. It was great. It's been a great discussion, actually. Intentions and importance of words and words matter and vibration and how are we setting ourselves up for success in the coming year? How are we thriving? How are we being authentic? How are we finding our bravery? How are we finding our joy? What brings us joy? What helps us be successful? You know, good discussion. Yes. You'll have to go back when you get a chance, you know, in your spare time. And you'll be able to rewatch this on YouTube. So if you're just now joining, by the way, you can go to YouTube and see, if you go to lives, if you go to my channel and go to lives, you'll see all the recordings of all the crowned mediums that I've done. And because I really do feel like this is a good discussion to have. Like if you're setting up your goals, even if you're not great at resolutions, which I suck at, setting intention, asking yourself if for me, I'm going to use myself as an example, thrive. If I'm thriving as opposed to surviving, I'm thriving. That's going to get me to where I want to go. But I also need to know where I want to go. What is it that I want to do? And if you don't know, that's okay. But if you have a general feeling, if you want to feel joy, if you want to feel happiness, then maybe you stick with joy. Okay. Am I going to do this today? Is it aligning with joy? And does it mean that if I do this and make this sacrifice, even if it's something I don't want to do, it clears the way for joy later? Okay. So we're not spiritually bypassing ourselves. We're just creating an environment where we ask ourselves and check in with ourselves with a single word. Does this align with who I want to be in this moment? And also a year from now, or 5 years from now, or 9 years from now. So, all right. Well, that about wraps it up for me. I hope you guys all learned something today. I hope you feel like you learned something, and that, as always, my goal is to help you feel empowered, to feel inspired, give you something to chew on and to think about and to contemplate for yourself, and how you can do better in your own life and inspire you to feel better. Thank you, Ruthie. I appreciate you saying that. We learn every day with you, friend. And you know what, though? I am also learning. I am doing okay. I'm doing okay. Thank you. Because Ruthie, girlfriend, I get a text message from Bree and Ruthie. They're on a live. Dr. Mike is coming in to bust my chops because I'm sulking in the car. I'm feeling sorry for myself and angry at the world. And your spirit guides will, by the way, your spirit guides will align you and give you a wake up. They will give you a wake up, and they will find whoever's necessary that they trust to give you that message. And they did with Ruthie and Bree and Eva. I want to give her credit too. So thank you for that. I'm doing okay. Back to teaching. I can't imagine not teaching, by the way. What was growth, since you said you got it wrong? Oh, growth. You know what? Let's see. What was that? Hold on. Let me look. G is 7. R is 18. O is 15. W is 23. T is 20. H is 8. So 9, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. That's 4, 5, 9, 10, 11. So that's 2, 8, 9, 10. Growth is a 1. Growth is a number 1. So that's a really good one to step into, right? Of course, I'm glad. I figured out that I think I'm burnt out, so I called out of work today. That can happen. It can happen. So how do you reset? How do you recalibrate, Ruthie? What are you going to do to recalibrate yourself, to refresh yourself, to allow yourself to rest, to help yourself feel inspired? I actually heard you're burnt out in my random dream of random stuff. Random. Yeah. So how do you rejuvenate? Ooh, you guys, that's another good word. Rejuvenate. If you are a tired soul, if you've been through it the last 9 years, how do you spend the next year with that energy of rejuvenate? Rejuvenate. Have a great day, everyone. Let it be amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tina. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, it was like a mush of colors and feelings. It was weird. I know. It's funny how they'll do that. Oh, yeah, April, you crack me up. You crack me up. So, hi, Lucy. It's so good to see you. We're just finishing up, girlfriend. Oh, man. You have to go back to my YouTube and rewatch this. It was a really, really, really good show on setting ourselves up for success going forward, in this number 1 year. Okay, that's great. Awesome. I'm going to be in Georgia. We'll be closer to one another. But I'm only going to be there for 24 hours. I love that. Thank you, Lucy. It's always good to know when people are thinking about it. I'm going to rest today, lay in bed, call my power back, play video games, reset. But I want you to also do something that intentionally raises your vibration not just recalibrates and levels you out, but do something to raise your vibration. I'm hearing that loud and clear. So make sure you're doing that, Ruthie. Do something, get out and hug a tree, get your feet in the ground, go touch wood somewhere, do something that's going to also rejuvenate and refill your cup. Okay. Rejuvenate. Do a facial, put on some lipstick. And then yes, walk your dog, because you might run into someone that could really use a smiling face. So, all right, friends, I'm out of here. It is noon. Have a fantastic day. I'm not even really sure what's happening next week. I don't have anybody lined up technically, even though I think I might. I think I do. I need to look. I truly took 2 weeks off from all of this craziness and not thinking about the show and all that. So I hope you all have a great day. Have a great weekend. Go Hoosiers. Hoosiers. You. Right? Because that's the degree that pays for my lifestyle, right? Bye, Nicole. Good to see you. I'm so sorry you missed the show. It was great. It was really good. Just me babbling about everything and intentions and all that and growth and being amazing. So thank you all so much for a great day. And I don't even know who the Bobcats are. Who are the Bobcats? Isn't Oregon Ducks? Or there's another team. There are 2 other teams playing too, right? Oklahoma. I don't even know who else is playing in the other bowl game. So, because really it's just about the Hoosiers right now, the IU. All right, I'm going to play my outro, friends. Have a great day, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe now, and we will see